pick, at least at the moment. There's a couple good spells to steal. Frisk has been really good on the Rubik too, with the 2 games that he's played so far. So probably not either going to be banned, but Liquid kind of preparing for it as well.
Hold up, there's they're not playing versus T1. Why is the Veno banned? A little surprise there. Where'd that come from?
What do you think is some of the reasoning for the Veno? Is it in preparation for what could come out?
I think Zai's played it before, I believe. Maybe once,
yes,
maybe
he has.
twice.
Yes.
Alright, so it could be, yeah, in preparation for a potential pick that they want to do later on. You know, Erica not going to get his Morphling.
Mars
Maybe he
is still
thinking
in the pool.
yeah, maybe he's thinking about playing some TA or something this game and just doesn't want to play versus Venomancer. Hard to really say what's going through their minds right now. It could be a lot. It's like, there's so many things you have to think about in Dota. Like, as a carry player, like, sometimes you have to pick blind, so you have to ban in this phase a couple of heroes that could really get you later on in the draft. But it really does determine a lot on, right now, what they want to do. What these bans here just have to be perfect, I guess, for their next picks. And we're going to see a Pudge, and that's probably... I say it's the Matu Pudge, but we've seen Mickey on it too. It's just the Liquid Pudge, I guess.
Rebranded as the Liquid Pudge.
Yeah, has Zai played it too? Maybe Zai's... I know he can play it. Maybe he's even played it, so... It's definitely... Literally, all their heroes right now are still so flexible, right? Like, you don't know what Liquid's doing here, where these heroes are going to end up.
Liquid deciding to ban the Visage as well before the Pudge pick, so they left the Mars open, and they left the Lycan available as well. But Pudge is pretty decent in the matchup with the Lycan. I'm not sure, I'm not entirely sure about how the Mars kind of sits into the picture, because, you know, Pudge, once he picks up that Aghanims, I feel like any hero just melts in the eyes of that.
Yeah, I think Mars is not really something you want here. What I like about this Pudge pick is I think that's their answer to the Primal Beast. They've played it multiple times. Now this also still keeps the Tiny open, and now it's actually on Liquid. They've played Pudge mid, they've played it safe lane. If Primal Beast goes mid, you can put the Pudge there. If he's off lane, you can still put the Pudge there as well. Tiny is now also open to be played in Boxy's hands, because from what I've seen, the Mickey on Tiny, he's really good with it. But sometimes some of these combinations, maybe they don't feel as good as in other drafts. So I feel like the mid Tiny is probably not what they're aiming for if they have the choice not to. And then there's the Snapfire, which feels good. It pairs well with their other heroes. So I think for now, this opening by Liquid is pretty nice. And you can see that Vici, I think they're taking quite a bit of reserve time, because you also need to be careful now. You already have 2 very tanky strength heroes that play in a very similar way. So you want to make sure that you end up getting some different things so that all your heroes don't just get countered by the same thing.
Tusk coming out, and then you're right, Kezu, they were chunking through that reserve time, and so it's Tusk, DP, Fear.
Indeed it is. So, the DP of old, I would say, would be a bit better this game, because it's scaled with percentage-based damage. It's still pretty good. I don't know if I like the pick that much, so it's okay. It does, like, it's a strong lane if they want to pair it, which means the Primal would be going mid in this situation. I guess DP can also go mid in this situation. And they're just going to last pick their carry here, which I think is the correct call, just because you don't know what Liquid's doing here. You don't know if this Pudge is off lane. You don't know if Snap is position 3. He just wants to see a little bit more. And they're going to have some flexibility to actually switch up their off lane and mid here, too, after they see all the heroes being picked as well. It's an okay opening, but I'm not really wowed by this Vici draft so far.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. This DP against Pudge, I've seen it multiple times now. It doesn't look that good. When he pops Fleshy, he actually takes no damage. Sure, you still heal with the Siphon, but he also buys Ags. I feel like here for Liquid, so you could just... I feel like you can just pick your carry here. You can hold it if you really want to, depending on what they really feel like right now, what they want to do with the Pudge. But I feel like you could take any type of range carry that goes in the safe lane, like some type of Weaver or whatever. If the DP goes there, you're happy, you deal with the Tombstone. If the Primal Beast goes there, you're happy. But they decide to do something completely different. They're just going to take their offlane.
Yeah. The most played hero for Zai. Also combining 3 games with the Visage. I just wanted to quickly jump on the DP idea. That's the first Death Prophet pick for Vici in this tournament.
And it's also interesting that it comes off the back of Liquid 2-0ing Xtreme yesterday, who picked up DP both times. Like, I know the lineups are different, but it's very clear, like, Liquid are able to sort of shut down this DP. They know how to deal with it. So we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, there you go. Zai picking up Darkseer. And like you said, T-Panda being up there with one of his most played this last chance qualifiers.
Yeah, I mean, comfort. It is a Zai classic to go for the Darkseer. He's really good with all the offlaners he's played so far. But it does synergize really nicely with the. You've got a good Wombo combo if you think it very classically here with the tiny avalanche does a lot of damage. Mortimer's Kiss is nice to line up with it. Pudge Rot AoE with the Ags. There's some really good stuff. And in general, I think the big part here is Vacuum adds up to another piece of control for them as well, where they can just set up Vici Gaming into these fights where they might end up mispositioned, and those are going to be easy pickoffs for Liquid to pick up as well. So I do like this Darkseer pick. I'm just curious how the lane is going to go because we don't really see the carry pickup yet from Vici.
Yeah, I am very concerned with Vici and their amount of reserve time.
Yeah, well, right now they should know what they generally want here. They're playing versus Darkseer. Some heroes that players like a lot. I mean, Faces Void is very good versus Darkseer. They banned the Bloodseeker, which is also really good. So they're going to kind of see what Zai doesn't want to play against here, and they're going to ban the two heroes knowing that you need a carry on Vici Gaming. I'd be afraid a little bit with the Void just because there is a Pudge in the game. The hook can be a great tool for saving heroes in the Chronosphere, but on the same note, you could just... This Pudge is going to be a core. You could just Chrono the Pudge and try and kill him in the fights. So that could be good. Sven, also a great option. I'm liking the Void here. I said Lone Druid could have been good too, but they banned it themselves. Yeah, I'm pretty sold here. It's looking like a good Faceless Void game here.
I would say it's probably between Void and Nags. I don't really see any other picks in those. What would you think about Nags in the slot? Oh, Jug.
Oh,
Okay.
Nags, Jug. Interesting.
Similar
I mean,
story, I
yeah,
guess.
Nags would have been pretty cool too, actually. It's very good. The magic immunity with Jug, also very good versus the Darkseer. This one is a little interesting, though, because Jug, like the normal punch is quite good now. If you do manage to get an illusion of the Juggernaut, the reason why I mentioned the Void is because you don't get the passive bash. Same thing with the Lifesteal. You don't get many of the passives that are that good, but Juggernaut is a double-edged sword. It's good in the laning stage. So Omni Slash can be great, but if you do make an illusion of this Juggernaut, it is going to hurt.
Yeah, so what is this? Weaver, Queen? I don't know if they want to take a mid or an... Ooh, Slark. Okay, that's actually
That's
kind
very
of
good.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
really...
is.
I mean, it's very good against the Primal Beast in lane, which means they... they're not actually going to put the DP in the offlane against it. So the laning stage here could be really good for Matumba Man. Because, you just keep trading with the Primal Beast here. Sark is very good at the trades, and if you ever tramples, you can just leap away from it.
We're seeing what happens here with who's picking up what heroes. It is going to be Mickey on that Pudge as well, with Marty picking up a Slark. And knowing some of the lane matchups, Kezi, how do you think those lanes are going to go, and in which favor do you lean a little bit?
In terms of lane, so I think bottom lane, Vici should be just fine. It's a tiny Darkseer versus Jug lane. You're happy there. You're going to farm. Top lane could be a bit interesting. I have seen these Slark versus Primal Beast lanes like go both ways. And then mid, you have DP versus Pudge. I feel like Vici should be happy with their early game, but I'm really liking the synergy of Team Liquid later in the draft. This Darkseer with the Slark, then you have the Slark shard later to save your cores. So I will go with Liquid for this one.
Alrighty, and Fear, I know you're a fan of arbitrary numbers, so give me a percentage of who's going to win this.
This is going to be a 88% Liquid victory.
Okay, and T-Panda, which team are you liking?
Well, I guess when I was talking about the lower bracket upsets, I think this is probably not going to be that much of an upset. I mean, I can't say no to the Liquid draft here. Like Kezu already mentioned, that the timings are pretty good for them throughout this game. I really like Liquid's draft.
Okay, well, let's see if Liquid can hit their timings. So jumping into game one of this elimination series, your casters are Gareth and Gods.
Thank you so much, Nat. Yeah, here we are. Game one, Liquid up against Vici Gaming. And you know, Gods, when you see like 6 strength heroes in the first phase, through the draft there, picked up first, there's going to be an all-out heavyweight brawling match between these two. Are you favoring the panel's ideas of Liquid 88% chance here to take down Vici?
It's pretty compelling, I think. This last pick Slark is Pretty damn scary if you ask me. Liquid, they already won 2 games with the hero. Matu, both games he's played it, did not die a single time. And it's just so good against the entire Vici Gaming draft. The carry matchup is always kind of what you look at first, but even outside of the carry matchup, it's amazing against this Primal Beast in lane. So it feels like Matu is really set up to carry this game. As far as what Vici Gaming can do, it's going to be about the tempo. Death Prophet Jug, you've got this kind of Death Ball type draft, and you know they're going to be the ones who can control the kind of early objective taking, take those early Roches, take early towers, and try and take over the map.
Yeah, and difficult heroes to kill. You know, speaking back to the strength heroes there, they grab Tiny on Liquid, but he doesn't really have great targets outside of maybe the DP in this game, because everyone is just so incredibly strong. Even Juggernaut having magic immunity to kind of battle and deal with that Tiny combo, or even the magic damage that Liquid are bringing. So definitely some options there for Vici.
Yeah, that's a good point, because Slark is this hero that takes a while to ramp up, and even once you get like an item or two, like maybe you go early Diffusal to fight with, whatever the build is, you know, you need to build up your essence shift stacks before you can actually reliably fight. So if they, you know, set up grouped as 5, you can't really just jump someone and expect to blow them up. Heroes like Darkseer and Pudge are also not like these burst damage heroes. So it does feel like, you know, Vici Gaming around 15 to 25 minutes into this game could be making a lot happen on the map.
Yeah, absolutely could. I'm definitely curious to see what Matu builds, because we saw a little bit of Slark throughout the regionals, and of course in this last chance qualifier where the Echo Saber then disassembled into Ags was a very common pickup. Like you mentioned, there are a multitude of options for the Slark to actually go for, depending how he feels coming out of that laning stage.
So both the last 2 games he went for Diffusal Ag Scepter. One of those games he actually put in a Mage Slayer in the middle, just because he was playing against a lot of magic damage with Leshrac and Batrider on the other team. So I don't think you need the Mage Slayer this game, but I think it's going to be the Diffusal Ags again.
Fair enough. And that mid lane, Mickey, he's the one on the Pudge this time, like the panel was mentioning. Very versatile hero. It's not necessarily just the Matu Pudge, it's the Liquid Pudge. And up against the XM DP. Should have a pretty decent time there. Like Fear was mentioning, the lack of the percentage-based damage on Spirit Cypher now makes it a nicer early game tool, but definitely doesn't scale as well as it used to.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of putting Pudge mid against the Death Prophet a year ago would be unheard of. Suicide. You'd be like, all right, these guys need to be investigated, but you know, in this current patch, like you can see here, Mickey's just getting tickled by the Spirit Siphon. It's not even doing damage to him with the flesh heap. So honestly, this Pudge versus Death Prophet's a great matchup.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, what, 79 base damage thanks to his Fairy Fire with the Quelling Blade. And DP with 59. A little further behind, but still XM doing a good job through, you know, Crypt Swarms to secure range creeps like that. And keeps himself in contention, but a double wave arriving for Mickey under his tower.
Yeah, definitely a lane where I wouldn't expect to see any action until the supports start rotating in. Unlikely any kind of solo kills happen, but you never know.
Yeah, and how about these side lanes? Because we do have this Undying facing off against a Darkseer and a Tiny. And Boxy, it looks like he's just been doing wave dragging, went for this split build. You know, usually... Oh, Mickey? Okay, he's fine. Usually we see on Tiny either you go boots or you go regen and stats. Because you want to either pull or trade. But he's kind of gone, you know, split down the middle of the road here.
The triple mango, I guess he's just expecting to get harassed a lot, and the passive health regen helps a bit there. But Zai's having a really rough lane. Just the one last hit so far. That is bad news. I mean, that's why Undying is such a hot pick during these qualifiers. It's such a lane dominator. It's so good in the mid game in these team fights, but this is something Liquid have to be a little bit concerned about. Jug, similarly, also a Darkseer counter. So they've really drafted to give Zai this really terrible laning stage.
Yeah, and I don't know, we had this conversation the other day about Juggernaut, where he's always felt like this solid but okay, not really an amazing carry hero that excels at anything, but I don't know, we've had some sick performances over the past month or two from these carry players on Juggernaut. Just come out with a Maelstrom and start cruising. It's I guess the death ball, right? With Healing Ward, with the DP, you can start pressuring very early on.
Yeah, the hero seems to look best when it's paired with like strong pushing cores. Death Prophet, Lone Druid type heroes that benefit from the Healing Ward as well. Beastmaster is another good pairing. So I feel like they've got a pretty good draft for it. Just the Death Prophet and also the Primal Beast, like this kind of scary hero that comes online pretty early. So it does feel like Erica can go for like some early like phase boots Maelstrom and just look to fight.
Yeah, get involved early on. That top lane looks like Insania.
Yeah, nice pull.
A nice pull into that massively stacked large camp.
Yeah.
Snap 5-5.
That's a lot of denies that you're going to kind of keep away from the enemy core. BAB not going to be thrilled about this one, as that's something I feel like the Tusk has to be on top of. You can't let Insania get all these pulls off, particularly a full wave being essentially denied by that big camp.
Yeah, looks like they'll get a pull of their own as BAB does zone out Insania. Small camp pull completed from Liquid. And tries to drag, actually successfully drags the creep wave away from the large camp. So very well done. His first 4 minutes of play from the Snapfire.
Yeah, reflected in kind of the offlane is having a bit of a rough laning stage. 16 CS on Primal Beast, 15 on the Darkseer. Definitely they're the ones who got counterpicked the hardest when it came to the draft. So, you know, we kind of had a patch about, 3-6 months ago where offlaners were kind of always like carrying these games, and we're seeing a bit more kind of the re-emergence of offlaners being put into these much tougher situations with the drafts and the lanes they get.
Much more sacrificial now again. And bottom lane, we did see a bit of that back and forth. Tiny with a lot of damage onto the Jug, forcing the healing ward. And Zai having to scurry away with a surge away from that undying tombstone. But Yang is always keeping tabs on them. His job is just to track back, chase Zai throughout this laning stage and make sure he's nowhere near creep waves. While Matu, that tag team snowball, gets the first blood for Frisk. Vici Gaming striking first in that offlane where they were having a few struggles.
Yeah, I mean, I think Insania, he's one of these 5 positions that loves to pull and stack, and Matu just gets a bit too far up in the lane there. Maybe the communication was a bit off, because you can't be playing that deep when Insania is off, in the jungle playing around the pull camps.
Well, TP back up to top on Matu. Get back to farming. And everyone, it feels like, is being allowed to hit creeps now. We've got past 5 minutes. Yeah, having a pretty decent time for themselves. XM 31-7 against Pudge's 32-2, so pretty even there. But is it surprising that DP has those denies over Pudge?
Yeah, a little bit, I would say. I think that just was a result of when DP zoned the Pudge and got him pretty damn low. Like, he got Pudge down to like 20% health or even lower than that, so you get a few denies when the Pudge is low in health. But right now, 6-minute rune's coming up, so a lot of rotations. And
the toss back. Yang sent in towards the Pudge, but Frisk and XM, this tag team with the Ghost, killing off Mike. He's got out. He's dead.
Oh, I thought he was going to be able to TP out there. That was a smart idea, but manages to get the kill just in time, and now they're going to get some good damage on this tier 1. They may not get the full tier 1 with the Exorcism, but will force out a glyph and at least get it a little bit low here.
Tusk's courier just flying over that tower as well. But yeah, Tombstone zoning them away. Boxy and Insania both lurking in the shadows, trying to find an angle in.
Yep. And they know Pudge can't TP in to defend this one, so I mean, they're not going to get the tower, but there's no risk of like a Pudge TP into a meat hook or anything because he tried to TP away. So good damage from Vici Gaming.
Good amount there. I mean, round 2 with Exo. Another catapult wave. 10 minutes. They're going to be looking, eyeing up that mid tier 1. A nice thing to claim for them.
Yeah,
this is also meant.
Go on, sorry.
Just with 2 supports rotating mid, right? You've left Matu alone, so he's had maybe a bit of a better time facing off against this Primal Beast, but he's still level 5 on the Slark.
Yeah, the levels that Primal Beast has gotten, and just using this trample to like farm and harass Matu whenever he comes near has been enough to kind of keep Matu at bay. BAB is honestly having a great lane. I thought this would be a much better lane for the Slark.
All right, he's going to get caught out. Pulverized, snowballed, and again, Frisk with BAB. They're closing in on Matu. Can't pounce away. Surrounded by these beefy boys.
No. That's the one benefit of tanky melee heroes against Slark is you can block the pounce. So if you're going on him, he can't reliably pounce away, although Matu will be eyeing off his revenge later in the game. I kind of touched on how great the last 2 Slark games were, not a single death. He's already died twice this game. That's the hero you kind of picked as, your last pick of the draft, thinking you have a good lane. It's a perfect Slark game. And the fact he dies twice in lane is going to really set back a lot of what Liquid want to do this game. They're already down 3k gold.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of fortunate that he's got this Dark Pact that has had several buffs over the past year or so where Slark can kind of jungle to recover now, which just wasn't the case before. Potential here for him to slip back there is in the mid lane. Yang going to get dragged back. They're thinking about the Tombstone, and that's actually going to deter Liquid enough. No catapult wave just yet, but it's still XM chipping away at tower.
Yep, there's another exorcism. He pops the illusion rune just to help tank some tower shots, and this tower is donezo with the tombstone drop, so nothing Liquid can do to defend this. Gonna try sniper tomb.
Very nice.
Okay.
Good pace of play from Vici though. Insania cooking back to his tier 2, and it looks like Mickey is lining up a hook onto XM. He's not gonna get it. Just scrapes past the backside of the DP.
Top lane,
while up
meanwhile.
top lane, the slug. Yeah, you're right, the trample down. And that's just a solo kill from BAB.
Yeah, just onslaughts in and tramples him down. Matu copping some tips now as well. 3 kills in this top lane. Matu's lane. Ooh. It's over. He needs to go jungle at this point. They needed to have a stronger start, and they couldn't. That very first kill just kind of, from there, just snowballed out of control.
Yeah, and in comparison, early on in the first 3 minutes, you were spinning the story of both offlaners having struggles. Things have turned on their head for the Primal Beast, but the Darkseer still having difficulties. 2,600 net worth. Yeah, he's level 7, but he hasn't really been able to pressure the Juggernaut at all.
You can't really contest farm, because if you try and rely on like surging away, or if Jug runs at you, the Omni Slash will finish you off. So it's always so tricky to kind of come up, fight over the farm. Jug just has more damage as well, so he's going to get a ton of denies. So just really tough situation for Zai to be in.
Exceptional first 10 minutes here from Vici. We'll see if they can keep this ball rolling. Liquid have a lot of work to do, and in large part, it's going to come down to how quickly you can get Insania to this level 6, because Mortimer's Kisses, with this teamfight combo they've got, it's incredibly important. As Zai getting punched down in the bottom lane, quickly dispatched with by Frisk's TP. Even bringing Yang down here, expecting a full-blown team fight. Liquid do have 4 members down here. I'm not sure if Vici want to try and bring everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you've already killed the Darkseer. He can TP in on respawn, but the fact Liquid made this big move expecting to like collapse on this bottom lane around the Darkseer, but Zai died before his teammates could get there, is pretty bad for them.
Oh, the avalanche hook sets up. Yang, he's not going to get tombstone down, and Frisk snowballing deep. They'll just let the Undying fall and Liquid retreat.
They TP'd in the Primal Beast, so they definitely want to defend this tower. They've got the tombstone down with some little zombies slowing people. Maybe that would have been enough to kind of chase some heroes down, but they make the conservative call. They know XM not there. Does have a TP on the Death Prophet, but without Exorcism, they want to wait for that cooldown before they take another big fight.
Such good vision, though, from Vici. Sees into that ancient area of Team Liquid. Insania will find it before it expires. And a lot of defensive ward coverage here. You can see the sentries and orbs all placed around the dire side of the map, kind of watching the river, making sure no one's coming in and angling towards the Slark when he's farming.
Yeah, this Slark is the kind of really, I mean, it's not full desperation mode just yet, but it does feel like in some sense like Matu's going to have to get like maybe he's going for an early Mage Slayer again with the Falcon Blade. He's not able to afford kind of trying to farm up a Diffusal, I guess. And yeah, they need to buy as much time as possible for him to get some early farm. With the Iron Shell, he can fight pretty early on.
Smoke from Vici, though.
They don't need it.
There's connections coming in to save the DP, but it looks like she's going to get blown up before they come. No, the heals, the Spirit Siphon. He survived with his 1 charges, and Insania, down he goes. Mickey, oh, they're trying to bail him out with a vacuum back from Zai, but he's being hounded by Frisk and BAB. Shards, they're good. Trapped inside the igloo, but he's still speedy with the phase and that surge going, but look at the onslaught. BAB's back in again. Insania, he's brought back to fight this. Matu wants to claim some essence shift stacks, but look at how tanky Vici are. They cannot be brought down. Far too strong. BAB. Oh, they're tossing Insania in towards them, and Frisk dies now as well. Liquid had enough in the tank.
It's coming at heavy cost, though. If they get Yang, it'd be a nice additional +1 kill. They've got to toss in, so they are looking for that final kill. Matu. Death from above, but Yang gets out of there with XM's help. It's not really worth it in the end for Liquid. Maybe just like slightly. They get all this experience, so I guess from that perspective it's fine. But the buyback on the Snapfire, they lose both Darkseer and Pudge there, so not really the best of fights when you look around and you see that, what's Jug been doing that entire time? Just farming away in bottom lane in the jungle.
Yeah, right. We saw the fight recap, and it's kind of, yes, okay, 200 advantage in that gold swing for Liquid. Experience was kind of even, but the fact that Jug is building up net worth, you're absolutely right. You've got to add in that additional factor. But we do see the strength of Liquid with this Darkseer, right? He did a tremendous amount of damage just with the level 1 vacuum against these melee heroes. He can do a lot to impact these fights.
Yeah, he did a great job microing his wall illusion. He put an Iron Shell on one before he died, and even after he died, he was just doing all this Iron Shell damage. Later on, you're going to see, Iron Shell on Pudge, on Slark. You got melee allies playing against melee heroes on the other side other than the Death Prophet, so there's a lot of damage output coming from the Darkseer plus Pudge or Darkseer plus Slark.
And now the map is getting a little small for Liquid. Frisk playing incredibly forward here with Yang into that ancient area, zoning them away. Giving a lot of space to Erica, XM to actually just slip back into their own pockets of farm in the jungle, somewhere safe for them.
And they've got that next exorcism ready to go, so question's going to be, do they want to go for some kind of big smoke play? It does look like there's at least a couple of heroes hovering around the mid lane. XM's the guy you want to play around with this smoke, whether it's smoking to him or smoking with him, because you don't want to just get a kill or two. You want to try and take some more objectives.
Yeah, especially when you're rushing BKBs on 2 of your cores. Primal Beast and DP, both aiming for those early Magic Community items to keep fighting early on.
They see Matu. This is a tough kill.
Yeah, he's level 10. Shadow Dance at the ready. Silence. Yeah, I guess Dark packed it off. He tried there, right? It's like the last fraction of a second.
Yeah. I don't think those two heroes have the damage to kill Slark there, even if they get like the perfect time on silence. Now he's got a Mage Slayer, so he's got magic resistance as well. I think that was just like with 2 heroes, that target was just not feasible.
It's going to piss him off, though. You know, they show and it's like, oh, okay, I can't farm jungle anymore. Yep. Matu's going to have to go back to top. While Vici used this opportunity to go into Roche. Healing Ward, the Witchblade, tons of damage from this amplification out of the Flesh Golem, so quickly killing him off.
No exorcism needed, so they've still got the ability to push down another lane or use this Aegis to try and take some early objectives. Jug's a very good Aegis carrier, one of these great heroes that actually can kind of go for like some early high ground sieges because you've got the Blade Fury as well to kind of play around when you're pushing high ground, so a lot of pressure that Vici Gaming can put on Liquid now.
Well, Matu, he keeps showing his face on that medium cam, and there's always a Vici Gaming hero there. This time, Primal Beast zoning him away. And still finding farm where he can, though. 7,000 net worth on the Slark. As Pudge, Darkseer, both at the bottom of that chart in terms of core heroes, but still getting towards their key items. Ags on Pudge, and it looks like Zai going for the Blink Dagger. Have that teamfight turnaround potential on your Darkseer.
Yeah, Liquid need this Blink on Tiny. He's their kind of big teamfight starter. You know, you can't rely on like a meat hook or something. You know, a toss in is a bit gimmicky. You don't necessarily just want to be tossing your Pudge in when there's like a Death Prophet and stuff on the other side. So getting some tossbacks is going to be key for Liquid when it comes to starting fights.
I'm insane, yeah. Just scouted a little bit there, but interesting cookie out of the snowball as Boxy now arriving to save his captain. Tossing around Frisk, but he's got raindrops, wand, he's still got a lot of movement speed and the vision up to high ground. The snowball back to Zai, dodging every glob of lava thrown by Mortimer as in comes BAB. They kill the Tusk, the Pulverize comes, and the Primal Beast aiming for Mickey, but this is a pretty split fight. They have to choose a target and stick on them. Zai gets Mickey out of there while Boxy dies on the left-hand side. And Liquid gonna be pretty okay with this. They get in, get out reasonably unscathed, while Vici, they spend Exo and a lot of time.
Yeah. They do come in and get this like double ancient stack and stuff, and it is an arcane rune exorcism, so at least it's going to be a pretty low cooldown. But Liquid are sticking around. They want to fight this one. Erica's not a good target with the Aegis, though.
Yeah, and he still has this Omnislash to play with.
Yeah, I don't think you can take the fight. Not with a Jug Death Prophet in the front lines that you can't really get past the Exo. It does expire now, so there's at least a little bit of a window where you can try and take a fight here, but Jug's Aegis just makes him such a beast here. Mjolnir Omnislash is going to shred through this Liquid lineup.
Man, you make such a good point as well. It's like the entire Vici draft is a front line. How do you break past a front line of 5 heroes?
Yeah, it's like usually your team fight's like, okay, we're gonna jump the back line, kill the squishies. Wait a second. Which one is that? Yeah.
Good luck, Matu.
Yeah, Matu, usually Slark is like, let's just make these supports go like 0-10. There's like some Crystal Maiden, you just keep on killing again and again. But I guess the good news is, you know, there are these tanky heroes you can build up Essence Shift, but he's going to need to build up a lot.
Yeah, going to need to extend those fights while the quick blower on Boxy's Tusk in the top lane as he was so close to Blink.
Yeah, that's brutal for him. It's really what's been slowing Liquid down and preventing them from making any moves, is just not having that Blink initiation. There's been just so much fighting going on that Boxy hasn't really had the time to farm it up, and Vici Gaming have done an amazing job just continuing to apply pressure, go wherever Liquid's trying to get these scraps of farm.
Yeah, not letting Liquid play their game at all. We're not really seeing any smokes or initiative from Liquid. They are very focused on getting key items, but Mickey, here's a pick off that Vici Gaming will be incredibly happy to take. The snowball dodging the vacuum and the wall, and onto the pudge they go.
Oh, what a
Can they
snowball.
find a bonus kill? It looks like the surge and the pounces away will get Matu and Zai out of there. But a great snowball again from Frisk.
Yeah, he's so good. Definitely a player. I mean, people remember him from his old Vici Gaming days when he played under the name Fade. He had a sick tusk back then, and he's showing it once more. They're not done getting these kills. Yeah.
No! Ah, back under tier 2. This time, dragging Erica along for the ride.
This could be a
40
quick
seconds.
one. We're all like talking about how good the Liquid draft is, but they're not getting a chance to play their draft because of how much they're just getting run over.
Yeah, now you're staring down the barrel of double BKB. You know, we've seen Primal Beasts already come into play. DP has hers being delivered right now. These last outer towers, tier 2s, look like they're going to fall pretty quickly. A very, very oppressive move here from Vici to hold out every single lane. They're spread out across the map, but they have a pocket of 3 up top ready to fight.
Yeah, and just kind of very classic, strong, like Dota, like in like very kind of, you know, predictable way, but it's like, how do you actually counter this? They get the first Aegis, they take over the map, they get a gold lead, they're not going high ground, they're just looking to take fights, and they found another fight here in the mid lane.
Yeah, go straight in on them. Snowball again. Trying to connect onto Mickey's Pudge, and the BKB's up from BAB. Finding the kill with Yang's final touch. Matu just going to kill off a zombie.
Yep.
Super irritating, though, with this Witchblade and Exo from the Death Prophet.
See if they can finish this tier 2 mid tower. Oh, the toss back in. Okay.
But XM has a BKB. Up. Spirit Siphon, and the remaining seconds of the Ghosts allows XM to just stand up high ground under tier 3 without a care in the world. Oh, Tusk maybe, though, found by Matu. There we go. Something going Liquid's way while top lane was being pushed by Erica. It looks like Vici gonna fall back to a high ground position and hold for a second.
Yeah, Erica just got that top tier 3 tower down to like half health. That's some pretty significant damage being dealt. The fight at mid was just kind of almost a distraction for the Jug to get some good building damage in, making sure they get, you know, so even if it's just support kills off the Exorcism there. I like what we see coming in. The Tusk, you know, he tried to kind of juke around the Slack, play around the building and the trees, use the Tumbler's Toy to... and then also tried to go for the Ice Shards to push himself down the cliff, which is very hard to do, and, you know, requires a bit of luck as well, so... Liquid on the move now.
His reaction there is like, oh, I nearly had it. It just a couple of pixels, I would be down to low
Liquid
ground.
Smoked up, though. They're invading the triangle.
Straight on the Boxy with a blink. Yang, he heals back up. The kiss is landing as they dismember Erica. But Boxy getting shredded by the DP and BAB. Oh, that damage from the beast. In he comes. Slay Liquid right outside that Roach Pit. As Liquid were the aggressors and they get turned on quickly.
Yeah, they wanted to just make a quick move, feeling like nothing's going their way. They got the Blink Dagger up on the Tiny, and with Aegis down, they thought they could get this great jump. But Erica, quick reactions, gets the Blade Fury off, so the Dismember just, you know, there's no real follow-up damage or kill threat on him, and that's perhaps the one downside of this Liquid draft is how do you kill these heroes? Like, even, it takes too long for Slark to build up damage in these fights, and you've got 3 cores that all are pretty low when it comes to actually damage output. They're, you know, very tanky and hard to kill, much like the Vici Gaming ones are. But Vici Gaming, you've got Mjolnir Omnislash, you've got Exorcism, not in that fight, but you've got these heroes that actually dish out significant damage in an AoE. We've seen Primal Beast just demolish these team fights as well. So fight after fight going Vici's way.
Yeah, it feels like Liquid need like 3 Reaper sides or something like they need, they need 2 Necros on their team to handle these heroes. Super challenging, but you know, when it comes down to it, you know, the next 10 minutes very important for Vici to hold on to this lead and keep improving. because Liquid, they can scale, they can team fight back. They've got elements in their draft which will allow them to fight around high ground in particular.
There they are. Getting a shard on Matu's Slack, a bit of an interesting pickup there.
I think it makes sense when it's, like you said, right? He wants to extend these fights, get stacks up, and having Depth Shroud just allows a few more seconds of being able to hit people.
Maybe help someone out who's getting pulverized or something.
Omni Slash, I guess it counts as Omni Slash, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. Against the Omni Slash, like, it's no longer just himself getting Shadow Dance, he'll be able to help out his entire team.
And 2 minutes left on that Roche spawner. Matu showing mid. yeah.
And BAB was ready to follow that one up. He's got Yasha and Kaya now in his primal base. He's just dishing out all the damage. Yeah.
Okay, so not the
Matu
Sanj.
again.
The Kaya Sanj we've seen a lot of. The Yasha Kaya for Primal Beast. Matu, yeah, spotted. He knows that he's under vision though, and very wisely pounces away.
This is just kind of hunting season. Vici Gaming, they're hunting, looking for kills. They know they can't really go high ground against the toss back, the meat hook, and they're waiting for Roshan. They're just like, you know, we want to find some fights. That was like back-to-back smokes looking for kills. But realistically, they're thinking, like, big picture-wise, Roshan, Aegis on Jug, free shard. That's when they can actually break high ground. Oh, Foxy.
What's he up to? TP in away?
TP out, yep, he's fine.
Very nice.
Bottom lane, meanwhile.
Pulverize on Insania. Find the catch on the snap. Now with Mage Slayer on the slug, does that... I guess the DP, it works against the Ghost, right? Because it's spell damage?
Yeah, it should. I guess unless they're like considered different units. I don't know exactly how it works.
Mid. Matu with a vacuum help from Zai, but this snowball again, keeping Yang alive. The Undying, he's fine. Healed back up by the healing ward. So much tankiness. And Matu, he's pounced back in, but it's blocked up by the Undying. And the hook save, Mickey dragging Zai away from danger, but Matu still being chased down. Frisk and Erica here can't quite catch up to him, but BAB will. Pulverize down the slug, and he's dead for 50 seconds.
No, and they're going to charge forward here. They may actually go high ground. You know, forget the Roshan with Exorcism going, with Jug ready to push, with a Skadi to go with his Mjolnir. Got a lot of damage, but unfortunately Exorcism just not quite long enough duration to go for a full-on high ground play here. They back off. No Roshan quite yet. If they're a bit more patient, 5 more seconds, I'll have it. And nothing Liquid can do to stop them getting this Aegis.
And there, Frisk sat in the pit. Scouts out the big man returning.
It's a tough game. I mean, we see this stack. There's stuff that threatens to just instantly jump and kill him. Like the Blink Walrus Punch can set BAB to get off a good Pulverize. BAB is going to have a Blink Dagger on his Primal Beast soon as well. So it's just not this free slot game for Matu, considering like the big farm discrepancy between the two teams.
Liquid, they are moving slowly towards the pit there. And they even get a scan towards it, but yeah, realizing it's already been killed off. Too late to really react. Swiftly down to bottom lane, connecting in with Mickey, just finding what farm they can. And shoving out this bot wave with a catapult's going to help do a bit more damage to tier 2. Don't think they'll be able to get it, but you're going to force Vici to react and try and maintain these lanes at the very least.
Well, they're hunting down bottom. They see someone try and pressure, and Frisk is wondering what he can get out of this, but can't quite catch up to the Tiny.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Man, and the TP top from XM. So really just keeping all the lanes pushed out to put Vici Gaming in a better position to think about this tier 2 bot or even the high ground. Or a team fight, which Liquid might be looking to give them. Erica shows on bot wave, the quick dismember. They've got stuns for days here, and the Juggernaut, first life is down. Mickey hooking into the trees. Not sure what he was aiming for, going for a fishing expedition, but Erica's going to try spin and get away. Yang throws the tombstone down, and in comes BAB. Pulverizing back into the slog, and Matu just cleared through so quickly, while Mickey, he can't do anything. The wall illusions are irritating, but it's just nowhere near enough damage.
Yep. And they're doing this all without the Death Prophet. Back in the top lane, TPing up there. So, you know, 4v5, that's just the strength of Vici Gaming. I mean, if that goes fine for Liquid if the farm between these two teams is a bit more even.
Oh, insane,
yeah. Going on an Aegis Jug just there's no way you can kill him a second time. You've already committed the dismember. They're diving deep. They want him in the tier 4s, but BAB just can't quite catch up to him.
Yeah, I
Oh,
guess it's...
kisses. Ooh, insane. I thought he had maybe a kill there, but that's a 2-minute cooldown now.
Suppressing fire. Keep their heads down. I guess it makes sense in some regards for Liquid to take that fight just to take the Aegis, because if Vici get to high ground with it, then it's an impossibility, right?
Yeah, I think the idea of take the Aegis and get the hell out of there, but they kind of stuck around. They dropped the wall as if they wanted to kill him a second time. Maybe they thought the rest of Vici Gaming was in the top lane because they saw that they knew Death Prop was top. So the reasoning is, you know, it's pretty sound from Liquid. Like, okay, they know Death Prop's not there. Maybe these other heroes are not down bottom as well, and Jug's just solo farming a lane.
Ooh, hello.
Now this could work.
This might work, but BAB and Frisk, they're back in with the saves, and they're both very tanky still, but the damage! Oh
Shredded.
God! Liquid, they find the kills!
Yeah, they get the Jug out of there, but he can't re-engage. The Blade Fury on cooldown, as was the Omni Slash, and they're not done.
McKay being turned on by the DP. She pops her BKB, gets a good start in as well, but Erica spins forward and shreds into the Pudge. There's the takedown, back onto him. Liquid, they're surging Matu forward. They're trying to find another way in, but the high ground's held by a tombstone.
Not too strong, but without the Shadow Dance or Depth Shroud, he doesn't really want to engage there.
Who did all that damage? Pudge did close to 4,000 damage in that fight.
He was just like on top of 2 heroes doing some crazy rot damage, it looked like.
It felt like we had one of those GPK tiny, you know, tree volleys coming in with Daedalus crits.
It was like, it was just like, okay, our Jug's been caught, we gotta run in, and then they just grouped up for this Pudge to just get a dismember rot, like full damage out onto 2 heroes there, so. Not over yet. Liquid still have some fight left in them. They're down 18k gold, but they've weathered the second Aegis, at least for now.
More time, more space, but Slark up at top. Matu, is he going to get out of this? No, he was just silenced long enough.
Yeah, XM just sneaking in from the trees and got a full 6-second silence on, and he couldn't do a thing about it.
I mean, there's no saves from the rest of his team either. No way to dispel that. It's going to come down to him needing BKB while Juggernaut. That's just a solo kill. The Omni Slash, it's enough damage. Skadi, Mjolnir, and a basher for Erica.
This Jug is a complete beast at this point. He's going to rejoin the rest of his team, TPing to the outpost, and they're going high ground. No Slark, no Pudge. That's most of the net worth of Team Liquid just gone here. Slark does have a buyback, but even just forcing this buyback would be really advantageous for Vici Gaming.
Oh, that would be a monumental victory for them. He's 15 seconds away from respawning naturally, and Vici Gaming 2 lanes pushed in with catapults on both sides. Means mid lane is pushing in with just creeps, and top getting shoved by the remaining heroes of Vici to claim that first lane of barracks. Liquid not entertaining a team fight, just waiting for everyone to respawn.
It's such a tough situation to be in for Liquid here. They're going to be kind of bottled up in their base, but in a couple minutes time they're going to feel pressured to smoke on out, stop Vici Gaming getting Roche number 3, you know, potential Ags or Refresher coming into play when you've got a Death Prophet with double exorcism or free Ags on, you know, someone like a Juggernaut. It's just really tough to play into that.
Hey, even Ags on Tusk, right? Being able to kick someone, isolate them, get the kill with the Omni Slash. Oh, Boxy! He's found! They get the vision on him. He'll send the Primal Beast skywards, toss back the Tusk, but his life is forfeit in that bottom right corner while in the mid lane. What's happening over there? A Captain Erica with the wall dropped on him. Wraith packed out as well from Zai, but they've got the Walrus Punch to cancel his TP and take down the Darkseer, while snowballing at the same time onto Mickey. Frisk is everywhere and nowhere, just jumping targets left and right.
Xenia gets the high ground, but SM's got a haste rune in.
What's that range? It just grabs him from 1,000 range away.
The headband, yeah. Just pulls them in. This could just be it here. They're going to get a second. They can't get megas. They probably can't throne them here, but it feels like the game is at that point where it's like, what can Liquid actually do to come back? And I don't think there's much of an answer to that question.
What is the percentage now? What does Dota Plus tell us?
1. They've got
Oh,
one.
no.
They've got a solid 1% to go.
So you're telling me, for Team Liquid, there is still a chance.
A chance. I think it is just like it is a 1 in, not 100. It's a 1 in 1,000 here because Vici Gaming can kind of sit back, reset, take next Roshan, and as far as how these drafts scale, you know, Liquid drafts could scale okay into the late game if Slark was like, you know, up there and on par with the Juggernaut farm, not to mention he needs like his teammates to also be getting those kind of key late game items as well, but that's just not happening.
Every time I click on Undying, he's got a new saving tool or healing mechanism. Like he's got Mech, Holy Locket,
so
Full
rich.
Staff, Glimmer. He's incredibly rich. 10,000 net worth. Thank you, Philosopher's Stone.
Dire's bottom
Every
tower
support
is
player's
under
dream item. Well, smoking up his Vici Gaming. Does look like Liquid are at least setting up to kind of play around this bottom tier 2 tower. They've got the tower plus the ward on the hill, so a lot of good vision around this bottom side of the map, something Vici Gaming don't have. And I like the fact that they're just kind of ignoring that bottom tier 2 tower. Roshan is going to be far more important than getting this last tower. Mega creeps, you know, you can get those later. Right now, the important thing is making sure this next team fight goes well and that Liquid don't get some sick kind of like 5-man vacuum wall with Pudge follow-up to completely eat you alive.
And you can see Liquid trying to prep for a fight outside of their base. They don't want to let Vici Gaming break up the ramp.
They've been found.
The read.
Yeah. I mean, it's that cliff there with a nice little ward spot. It's just something that Vici Gaming don't want to go near. And now that you know you're there, you just say, why bother? Why go there? Like, there's no strategic point at this time to go play around that dire vision. Just keep pushing out both top and mid. The bottom creep wave is not threatening you at all. Eventually, it might get to this bottom tier 2 tower, but even letting that tier 2 tower bottom go is totally fine here.
Yeah, if you control Roshan, who's going to be up in a minute 40, you know, it's all according to plan for Vici.
Yep.
Zai goes in. They will find Frisk here with a pounce from Matu. He drops the Death Pact, and the Dark Pact. They're getting away, but the turnaround onto Zai. Kills off the Darkseer as Erica slays Boxy with a spin. And Matuma Man, well, he's trying. He's leashing and pouncing. BKB'd up. Trying to battle into this tusk with a Dismember there. They'll finally kill him off, but that's all you'll get. Liquid kill one support hero.
Oh, he's
they
bashed.
double buyback and he's bashed up now. Matu with a long-range pounce, but the creeps will kill him. Finishing him off as he tried to escape. And Insania hounded under his tier 4 towers. Glimmered up, but BAB. Oh, he's going to give up on that. Let the Snapfire escape for now.
He tried to guess where he was with the trample a bit there, but couldn't quite lock on. And tier 4 towers now. This is why, you know, this bottom side of the map just doesn't matter. You win a team fight, you can go for tier 4s, you can go for the throne. Maybe Liquid repel you after getting these tier 4s, but there's always going to be a Roshan to fall back to as well. And yeah, with Exorcism wearing off, they say, well, let's not risk it. We don't need to go for these tier 4s. Pudge just pulled back. Slark, okay, they're going to force a fight on the Liquid side.
Yeah, I mean, Boxy's in and Boxy's down.
Yeah, that's
As quick as that.
even with it. They get another kill. Like, Pudge buys back and they killed the Tiny, but they're still not forcing it. They just want to fight around, you know, their strong cooldowns. They want to fight around the Exorcism. They want to fight around a Roshan now, having free Aegis, Cheese, and more. Like, this is a gold lead that's just getting bigger and bigger. And Vici Gaming, you can really see what's at stake with this game by the way they're just not taking any chances.
Yeah, very, very deliberate play. And Roshan respawning. What's he got? Any goodies?
This Roshan is going to be a refresher shard, so double
Refresher
Exorcism.
shard, it looks like.
Very likely going to be the hero that ends up with it.
Double EXO, double BKB for the DP. Probably the go-to there for Vici Gaming.
Insane.
Tier 4
What's he
items
doing
as
here?
well.
He's smoked behind. Are they
For Team
doing this to
Liquid,
contest
finally
Roshan or
getting their
go for a
hands on
steal?
self.
He's in deep. This was a solo smoke just to get this ward down.
That's
And
kind of the funny thing here.
what's
Vici
the plan
Gaming
here?
haven't
None
been
of his
hitting jungle
teammates are
creeps
in the
at all, so
neighborhood.
They don't have their own tier
he's got a
4
four
items
stop.
starting to come
It's got
through,
double
focusing
vision
in on
around the Roshan.
Roshan.
But Rosh is already dead, so it's the right idea. But unfortunately, Rosh has just already fallen. If it was like a longer, I mean, it was already close to max respawn, so I don't think a longer respawn was really going to be something that happened regardless. And these wards are not going to help Liquid find a good fight because the fight's coming to their base.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, they get the takedown on Boxy. Vici Gaming just keeping going on forward. I think we've lost the connection between myself and Gods. So it might just be me on my own. Hopefully everyone can hear what's going on here. As Liquid looking to try and mount one final defense of their base. Vici all ready for themselves. And this probably works. Right, can you hear me?
Yep, I'm back.
Very good. Hopefully this is good.
Well,
One last chance for Liquid, right?
yeah,
No
this is...
buybacks.
They need the tossbacks, but... Oh, Matu can't afford to go down the front line. Erica with Butterfly Aegis, he's just such a beast on this jug.
As the back wall, though, Zai getting punched into the sky, and now Pulverized, sent down 6 feet under, he's gone. Matu trying to kill off the tombstone, but XM and BAB, they've gone in deep, looking for Mickey's purge. That's it now for Liquid, not a chance in hell. They'll get a toss back on Erica, but he's so incredibly strong. The Juggernaut can't be taken down, and GG is called. Erica on this jug, 10-0-12, untouched, unkillable. And absolutely beautiful stuff from Vici Gaming.
Yeah, there were a lot of doubters about, after the draft came out and Liquid had this, what looked to be this 6th Slark pick, but Vici Gaming just had the answer. They didn't. It almost felt like